Insurance claims, yeah, sometimes they can be a hassle. When do you file? Who do you file with? To answer questions like those, we are joined by the Department of Insurance Commissioner Mike Causey. He's answering your questions until 5:45 about all kinds of claims and insurance and things you should know. Here's how you get your question to him. You text us that question. The number is 336-379-5775. Remember, this is a text only, so please don't call. Thank you for being with us here today and sharing your expertise. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, let's first and foremost start off with what this week is. It's Burn Awareness Week. What do you want folks to know?
We're right in the middle of Burn Awareness Week, and we want people to stay safe. We're focusing on kitchen fires, so the theme this year is burning issues in the kitchen. This is a national theme that goes across all 50 states, and so many house fires start with cooking. People start cooking something on the stove, they get a phone call, they step out of the room, the next thing they know the whole house is on fire. So we want folks to be aware, especially right here around Super Bowl time and winter time. There's more cooking, more people are in the kitchen. We want people to be safe. Keep the children away from the stove, 3 to 4 feet away from the stove or out of the kitchen. Just do the safety things to prevent house fires.
I know, and the last time I interviewed the folks at the fire department, they were telling me that I was putting my fire extinguisher in the wrong place. I usually put it, underneath my kitchen sink, and they're like, nope, you don't want to do that because you're going to have to try and grab that thing. So make sure it's someplace where you can get it really easily. Okay, so cooking fires. Now let's talk about earthquakes. We've had a couple of rumbles right here in the Triad over the last couple of months. And a lot of folks have been asking, all right, so is it time for us to get earthquake insurance?
Well, you don't generally think of North Carolina as being earthquake prone, but if you look at the number of earthquakes we've had over the past few years, it's substantial. If you think back to a couple of years ago, in August of 2020, we had a 5.1 magnitude earthquake out of Allegheny County in Sparta, and we felt the shocks all the way to the coast. We had substantial damage to a number of commercial buildings and homes in Sparta, and the first question people had was, is my damage covered by my homeowners? And the answer is no, unless you have an earthquake rider. And I would encourage people to talk to their insurance agent, because earthquake riders are very inexpensive. And in the unlikely event we do get an earthquake, your belongings in your house would be protected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think sometimes you think, well, I have insurance, it just covers all the things. And it covers certain things unless you have those extra riders, like you said. Flood insurance is another one of those things.
That's right. Same thing. Homeowners policies in North Carolina do not cover flood damage. So unfortunately, when Hurricane Florence hit in 2018, we had about 88,000 people that had a lot of damage to their homes and didn't get a penny because it was flood damage. So you need to talk to your insurance agent. We have been having flood classes all across North Carolina for a couple of years, sponsored by the Department of Insurance. We give continuing education credit to insurance agents, real estate agents, engineers, architects, and I believe surveyors. So these are 4-hour classes, and the insurance agent can tell you what you need to do to get that flood insurance. That's a federal program, the National Flood Insurance Program, but we also have private flood policies that have been approved in North Carolina, and we're looking for insurance companies to step up and start writing those private flood policies in the near future.
Right, you don't need to be at the coast to have flood insurance, because creeks and waterways and things like that, they all rise and they can flood your home. The big deal is that when you get flood insurance, it doesn't take effect immediately.
Yes, there's a 30-day waiting period.
All right, so you need to know that for sure. We always get questions right when a storm is about to come, can I get flood insurance? And the answer is you can, but it won't be active. All right, what about pothole damage? A lot of us are seeing potholes on the roads right now because of all the winter weather we've had.
Well, we've certainly seen our share of potholes, and my message to consumers would be to talk to your insurance agent and make sure that your automobile policy has comprehensive. You need comp and collision. That's worth its weight in gold, because it's very difficult to get that claim paid by a city or municipality. The only way you're probably going to get insurance claim paid by a city or DOT is to show negligence, and that's very hard to prove. But if you have comprehensive coverage on your automobile policy and your car's damaged by hitting that pothole, it would be covered.
Yeah, and so comprehensive covers things like when that tree falls on your car, right?
Correct, that's right.
If you hit a deer or ice falls on your car.
All of the above. One other suggestion I have is to make sure you have replacement value coverage, because if you have a total loss, all you're going to get is the actual cash value, and you're not going to like what you see on the depreciated value. And if you have replacement value coverage, you could have a vehicle 2 or 3 years old, and a total loss, you get to go buy a brand new vehicle.
Right, but if you don't have the replacement, you're going to be stuck with whatever your car was worth at the time. All right, we are going to come back with your text questions. We'll be right back.